Arya Stark was never like the others in her family. From the moment she was a little girl in Winterfell, she felt different. While her sisters dreamed of dresses, balls, and marriage, Arya wanted swords, running through the woods, and adventure. She did not care for fancy things or polite words. She wanted freedom. She wanted to be herself. And that need to be herself would guide her through every danger, every city, and every enemy she would face. Her journey began simply. She was a daughter of the North, a Stark of Winterfell, living in a world filled with war, betrayal, and cruelty. The first lessons Arya learned were harsh. She watched her father, Ned Stark, be taken from her and executed. That day changed everything. Arya could not cry long. There was no time for grief. Survival became her first lesson. She ran, she hid, and she began to understand that the world did not care about innocence. It cared about strength, cunning, and speed. Everywhere Arya went, she learned lessons of life and death. She traveled through cities, forests, and seas. She met people who taught her to fight, to sneak, to vanish in plain sight. She learned the ways of the faceless men in Bravos, strangers who could become anyone and do anything. They taught her discipline, patience, and precision. She trained to be invisible and deadly, to move without leaving a trace. She learned the power of shadows. But more than anything, Arya learned that the world was too dangerous to be gentle or trusting. Along the way, Arya carried her list. The names of those who had hurt her family, who had caused pain and suffering. That list was her compass for years. It gave her purpose, a reason to survive, a reason to fight. Each name crossed off was a victory, a balance restored in her mind. Yet, when the list grew shorter, a new question rose quietly in her thoughts. What now? What happens when there are no more names to seek? What happens when vengeance is finished? Even after she killed those on her list and helped save Westeros from great threats, Arya felt a strange emptiness. She had done what needed to be done. She had protected her family, helped defeat enemies, and survived horrors no one else could. But Westeros felt small now. Its rules, its politics, its endless cycles of revenge, Arya saw that they did not belong to her. She had lived through them, but she did not want to be tied to them forever. She was no longer a girl who needed guidance, nor a killer bound to revenge. She was Arya Stark, and she wanted her own path. Curiosity was another force pushing her forward. Arya had seen Bravos, a city of masks and shadows, where people disappeared in the streets and secrets ruled the lives of many. She had wandered through foreign lands, always learning, always observing, always moving. And yet there was always more. The maps of the world in Westeros ended at the western seas. What lay beyond? Arya wondered. No one knew and no one could tell her. That unknown called to her like nothing else ever had. Adventure, freedom, discovery, it was everything she had ever wanted. Freedom was the ultimate prize. Unlike her siblings, Arya did not seek a throne or power over others. She did not want to rule or to be confined by castles, crowns, or politics. She wanted the wind, the open sea, the ability to choose her own destiny. Westeros had given her lessons, strength, and skills, but it had also given her reminders of loss, of death, of sorrow. Leaving was not running away. It was stepping toward something new, something only she could find. Sailing west was her way of taking her life into her own hands, of defining herself by her choices, not by her family name or the past. Arya's personality made her unique. She was fearless, but not reckless. She was clever, but not cruel. She had the heart of a fighter and the mind of a survivor. These qualities had allowed her to survive battles, poisonings, and assassins. They had allowed her to move through cities unseen, to escape capture, and to strike fear into those who thought they could control her. Now, they would allow her to leave everything familiar and sail toward the unknown. Her skills were not just for vengeance, they were for life itself. The journey west was also symbolic. Arya had always been a wanderer. Her travels had shaped her. She had survived alone, grown stronger, and discovered who she was. But the final journey, the one across the western seas, was a journey for herself. She would not be someone's daughter, someone's weapon, or someone's servant. She would be Arya Stark, the explorer, the adventurer, the survivor. Her story had always been about survival, justice, and identity. Sailing west was the final chapter, one written not by revenge or duty, but by choice. Her farewell to Westeros was quiet. She did not need grand speeches or celebrations. She had said her goodbyes in her own way, by protecting her family, by righting wrongs, and by fulfilling her path of vengeance. The world she had known had shaped her, but it could no longer contain her. Arya looked to the horizon, where the sea met the sky, and felt a thrill she had never felt before. For the first time, the world was not trying to kill her. The world was waiting. The West was unknown, a place no maps fully captured, a place no sailor could promise to return from. But Arya did not fear it. She had faced death countless times and had always survived. She had faced enemies, betrayal, and chaos, and she had emerged stronger. The unknown was not frightening, it was freedom. And Arya Stark had always craved freedom more than anything. As she stood on the deck of her ship, feeling the wind in her hair and the salt spray on her face, Arya realized she was exactly where she wanted to be. No vengeance, no war, no lists, no expectations, just her. The horizon stretched endlessly, full of possibility, adventure, and discovery. Her past had shaped her, her training had prepared her, and now her choices would define her. She was free, truly free, and the world awaited her. Sailing west was more than a journey. It was the culmination of everything Arya had learned, everything she had survived, and everything she had become. It was her chance to live fully, on her own terms, in a world where she was not defined by the names of the dead, the power of the living, or the rules of kings. She was Arya Stark. She had lived, she had survived, and now she would explore the world as herself, untethered, unstoppable, and free. And so, with the wind at her back and the unknown before her, Arya sailed west, leaving the life she knew behind. The girl who once ran through Winterfell with a sword in hand had become a woman who carried the world in her heart and the horizon in her eyes. She was not seeking fame, fortune, or glory. She was seeking herself, and nothing could stop her. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts, and don't forget to check out our other videos for more interesting videos. See you in the next one.